The silence of innocence, a Cape Flats cry. They say another baby got shot, bruh. A 3-month-old. Through the window, straight into the quiet of a Cape Flats home. Another headline, another statistic. But for us, for the colored community, that ain't just news. That's our child. That's our future bleeding out on the street. We're sick and tired of politicians with their empty speeches, smiling for cameras while bullets tear through our lives. They talk big, bruh, but do nothing. We're done waiting. We're done burying our babies. The time for talking is over. It's time for a shutdown. For justice. For accountability. For our children who are not statistics. They are our reason to act. I'm colored, and I've seen this cycle too many times. The grief, the outrage, the promises that evaporate like the morning mist over the shacks. They tell us they're working on it, that change is coming. But what kind of change is it when the only constant is the relentless rhythm of gunfire and sirens? What kind of future can we build when our babies can't even sleep safely in their own beds? This time, it was Alara's baby, a tiny soul named Liema, just 3 months old. A bullet, meant for someone else, or perhaps no one at all, found its way through a window, shattering not just glass, but a family's entire world. The silence that followed the shot was deafening, a silence that screamed of innocence stolen, of futures extinguished before they even began. When I heard, I rushed over, like so many others. The air was heavy with unspoken questions, with shared sorrow. Alara sat there, rocking gently, the empty blanket, a cruel parody of the warmth it once held. We didn't need words. Our eyes met, a silent acknowledgement of the pain, the anger, the feeling of being utterly helpless in the face of such senseless violence. Then they came. Counselor Thema, with his entourage, his polished shoes crunching on the gravel. He offered condolences, spoke of unfortunate incidents, and strengthening community policing forums. His words were hollow, echoing in the small, grief-stricken space, a stark contrast to the raw, unfiltered anguish that filled the room. He smiled for a brief moment, a camera flash, and then he was gone. Auntie Sarah, a matriarch of our community, shook her head slowly. "They come, they talk, they leave," she murmured, her voice raspy with years of witnessing the same charade. But nothing changes. The bullets still fly, and our children still fall. Her words ignited a spark in me, a fire that had been smoldering for too long. We were tired of being statistics. We were tired of being ignored. That night, under the pale streetlights, we gathered. The whispers of outrage grew into a collective roar. "Enough is enough," I shouted, my voice raw with emotion, echoing the sentiments of every person present. They build invisible walls around us, walls of neglect and indifference. But we will tear them down. We will make them see us. We will make them hear us. The idea of a Cape Flats shutdown began to take root. The preparations began. Young Lila, with her nimble fingers, helped Auntie Sarah paint banners, the words, "Our children are not statistics," stark in white against a muted background. Others gathered candles, each flame a tiny symbol of the innocence lost and the burning anger that fueled our resolve. The community, once fractured by fear, was now united by a shared purpose. The day of the shutdown dawned, somber and resolute. The usual taxis and cars were gone, replaced by a river of people. We marched, a silent, powerful tide flowing through the dusty streets. Colored held the banner high, the words, #Cape Flats Shutdown, a beacon of our collective demand. Auntie Sarah walked beside him, her lit candle a steady glow against the muted morning light. Each step was a prayer, a protest, a promise to Liema. We stood there, a sea of faces, demanding justice, demanding accountability. The silence of innocence had been shattered, but in its place, a powerful cry had risen. The fight was far from over, the wounds still raw. But as I looked at the determined faces around me, at the flickering candlelight, I knew one thing. Liema's death would not be another statistic. It would be the catalyst for change. It would be our reason to act, to fight, until the silence of innocence was replaced by the sound of peace.